Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here tonight at the Portola Hotel. We are kicking off Monterey Car Week. I hope you're all doing okay. First of all, a huge thank you, because you could have been anywhere tonight and you chose to spend the evening with us for a pretty groundbreaking, maybe unique, potentially first of its kind announcement between Sotheby's and McLaren Racing. Now, before we bring on our two special guests tonight, I am going to show you a small video that's going to give you somewhat of a little inkling of what we can expect tonight. So if you all turn around, or if you're behind me, look past me, there'll be a little video playing on the screen. Okay, can we have a warm round of applause for our two guests tonight? First of all, we have Zach Brown, CEO of McLaren Racing, and Gord Duff, President of Sotheby's. Welcome, gentlemen. Now, in true motorsport fashion, I feel like it was just yesterday, Zach, that you and I were together at Le Mans for yet another big announcement. Every time I see Zach, there's a big announcement, and every time I think he can't top it, and here we are tonight topping it again. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Good evening, everyone.
How are you doing?
Excellent, excellent.
Fantastic. Now, there's a through line with the story that we're going to tell today. We have, to my right, we have the Formula One McLaren racing car. Behind us, we have the Indy car. We just saw on screen your latest LMDH hypercar for the World Endurance Championship. Talk to me a little bit about why we are here tonight and what is the big announcement that we should all be holding our breath for.
Well, we're going to do something that's never been done before. You know, now that we've announced we're coming back to the World Endurance Championship, we're going to once again be competing for the Triple Crown, which is winning the Indy 500, Monaco, and Le Mans. We're the only team to have ever done that. And, you know, with our kind of brand and how much people love our cars and our race cars, we wanted to do something that was never been done before and very kind of experiential, not just buy a car, but kind of get the whole experience, be part of the team. And we are great partners with Sotheby's, and we thought they would be best to partner up with. And so what we're doing later this year is we're going to sell a 2026 Formula One car. You can pick whether you want Landos or Oscars. Sell a Indy 500 car that Pato's going to race in next year, which he's got a couple seconds and a mishap going for the win. So he's promised me he's going to win next year. I can't pass along that promise, but I can tell you he's promised me he's going to win.
Fingers crossed, we can try.
And in 2027, we'll be coming back to World Endurance and, of course, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And so we're going to race 6 chassis over 3 years. 5 were sold to very big private collectors in about 6 phone calls. And we saved one to work with Sotheby's to be able to auction off one of our debut cars in 2027, and all the experiences that go along with being part of McLaren. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Not a small project.
Not
that
a
you're
small
putting
project,
forward.
and never been done before because you know the 2026 Formula One car is still very much in development. Biggest rule change in kind of modern history of Formula One. So to be able to get your hands on a car and go watch it race and cheer it on. Same thing with, of course, WEC and then our Indy car. So I think it's going to be a cool and exciting.
And there's something very unique about McLaren Racing, and Zach, you always talk about this, the importance of bringing motorsports to the fans, the importance of bringing that feeling, whether it's bringing the cars closer to the fans, whether it's bringing the fans to the track. Gord, talk to me a little bit about this moment that we're in right now for collectors around the world. It seems like this top tier of racing is having a moment. What are you seeing in terms of this excitement of bringing these types of cars closer to collectors?
Zach mentioned it being about an experience, right? And we're all about creating new experiences for our customers. And, you know, the fact that you're going to be able to buy one of these cars and actually watch it race next year is something that's never been done. You're going to become part of the McLaren Racing family if you're lucky enough and fortunate enough to get one of these cars.
And Zach, on the screen behind us, we can see the hypercar, and you had something very beautiful when you announced it at Le Mans. You had 3 numbers across the hypercar. You had 74, 84, and 95. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think that's, again, another element and an ode to McLaren bringing
yes,
this
closer.
closer.
Yes, of course. Our first Indy 500 win was with Johnny Rutherford in 1974. Our first Monaco win, 1984, and then we won on our debut, which would be nice to do again. But let's see, it's a very competitive field in Le Mans. So we put together those 3 numbers, and then when we unveiled the car, we had a camo livery, which is how we unveiled our Formula One car this year, our Indy car this year. So we wanted to kind of tie in, and as you can see, they're all from the same family.
What does it mean when we try and bring motorsports, obviously closer to the fans? What does that look like? Because this is not a small project. I mean, we look at this and it feels like an almost done deal. We're standing on the stage with 2 incredible cars close to us. Walk us through the process of how this deal came to be, and maybe the logistics behind not only having potentially modern day racing cars, top tier, you are a winning team right now, but also drive ready car. What does that mean in terms of that process of bringing that? Because that can't be an easy feat on top of all of the race series you've got going on.
To run these cars now takes a big crew. And, my first race was 1981 Long Beach Grand Prix. Yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember the experience. I remember the first racing driver I met, the first car I saw. And then I started collecting the 1/43s. And then as kind of business grew, I could move up to the 1/18ths, and then finally I've been fortunate enough to get some of the full-size versions. And so when I look at the McLaren fans, it's everything from me as the 10-year-old who then wants the 1/43rd die-cast and play Hot Wheels, etc., up to adults that have substantial means and want to have the big version sitting in their garage. So we have great fans around the world of all ages and genders and demographics, and so obviously this is right at the peak of what you can do to be part of McLaren Papaya Club, if you'd like. And so we think it's a really cool opportunity, and something we're going to do track cars of our World Endurance cars, so that's won't have the racing heritage that these 3 cars have, but will be also a great experience. So it's something we want to do more of.
And that is very much part of your through line. You've always been, your passion for motorsports just naturally comes through. You love, every time I talk with you, about talking about the history of McLaren, but you also, as a team, very forward thinking. And then on top of that, the other through line is continuously bringing this sport and this team closer to the fans. Gord, what does it mean for you to have such an iconic brand and name and OEM? This really feels like, if I may, never been done before, but you obviously are the expert. But talk to us about that.
We've been fortunate enough to partner with some of the other great manufacturers out there. We've had a great relationship with Zach for a long time on the collector side of things. It started as just a casual conversation of what if or what do you think, to a follow-up call, to a Teams call, to fast forward over the last 6 months, and here we are. So it's a pretty cool thing. Our team's super excited about this, and it's an honor for us to be doing something, partnership like this with McLaren Racing.
I love the very casual, and here we are. Yes, here we are. Zach, where does an idea like this come from? What's going through your head when you think?
We very close friends with everyone at RM. I'm a car collector myself, so we're always kind of brainstorming ideas. So I think it kind of just sat around talking to some of the team at RM and just having a bit of a brainstorm of how could we be that much more experiential, right? I think today's day and age, fans of brands, they want to experience the brand. They want to sit in the road car, the race car, whatever the case may be. And so we just kind of thought this was the ultimate experience for some lucky individuals out there.
Well, you've teased the experiential element to this. This isn't just about free race cars. There's more to it when this auction is going to kick off. Can you share, I've seen a very long list of things that come on top of just the car, and I say just the car in inverted commas, but you could bid on a car but also get that experience. Again, this element and this idea of what does it look like to bring McLaren racing closer to the fans. Can you tease us a couple of other things that come with the package without
first of
giving
all,
us
if you're
everything?
faster than Lando or Oscar, maybe you can actually race it at Monaco if you have your super license. So that's one. But
You need the super license.
I think we'll struggle to find someone that's quicker than those two. Everything, these cars are in development. So everything from seeing the car come to life in the wind tunnel, the design, meeting the technical team, going to the first test, seeing the shakedown, joining us at races, whether it's Formula One, IndyCar, or WEC, meeting the drivers, dinner with the drivers, the memorabilia, the race suits that they're wearing in specific races. So that's, to me, that's the really cool part about the experience of what we're doing is the experience that comes along with the car and the way you're going to feel part of the racing team, and to be able to go to these races and watch your car making history, I think is pretty cool.
It really is about making memories. Am I correct in thinking that you don't need to bid on all three as a package, but you can bid on them individually? Is that correct?
Correct. We'll be selling them individually in Abu Dhabi during the last Formula One race of the year, the weekend of December 5th.
So Mark, that's the date to mark in your calendars if any of this sounded exciting. Zach, Gordon, are there any other last parting words that you would want this crowd to know? I mean, this is an incredible, first of its kind, I think we can say groundbreaking partnership that you two have got going. And again, another just milestone in bringing motorsports to the fans. Anything else that we should know?
I think it's going to be awesome to see it all come to life. And I think, I love going to auctions, bidding, but I also love going to auctions, just seeing the energy in the room and who's all involved. And I think this will be quite a special, iconic event. So whether you're coming to bid or coming to cheer on, I think it'll be something to stay tuned and see how it all goes.
What is it about auctions that really brings that? You talked about the energy in the room, but
Alcohol.
what is it? Pardon?
Alcohol.
Good. What is it about an auction like this that really just slaps a smile on people's face?
It's the excitement. You don't know what's going to happen, who's going to buy it, what is it going to go for. So there's a great energy in the room, especially when you're bringing significant, once-in-a-lifetime things to market. And this is, it's not just the cars, but the experience. Like, it's something you could never buy until now. It wasn't available to anybody unless you owned a team. So the fact that, you're going to have an opportunity for these and become part of the McLaren racing family, it's a super special thing.
I always like there's a mystery buyer element sometimes to auctions, or someone's bidding for someone. So I think that'll be fun to actually see who ends up with the cars.
And you've been told you can't bid on the car, right, Zach? You're not allowed to.
I'm not allowed to bid.
Well, look, a massive, massive thank you for spending the time with us tonight, for sharing this groundbreaking announcement. Can we please give a big round of applause to our two special guests tonight? Thank you so much. There you go. That's the spirit. And we'll see you both, I guess, at the end of the year in Abu Dhabi for this auction to kick off. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.